We're leaving Nigeria.
Definitely.
And we are now entering Benin.
Perched on the Gulf of Guinea, Benin is a French-speaking West African country and is home to one of the youngest populations in the world. It's a place where the rhythms of voodoo still echo through sacred forests and smoky shrines. The country is clean, calm, and more organized than I had imagined, layered with French nuances and deep history. It's also the first country in Africa to become a democracy. The people here have kind hearts and tireless hands, honoring their past while shaping a better future. Welcome to Benin. My friend Chucks and I drove from Lagos, Nigeria to Cotonou. And let's just say the 2.5-hour ride was optimistic.
19 checkpoints in the last 5 minutes.
Don't mind me, I'm smiling.
27 checkpoints later. 30 checkpoints.
3-0. Big 3-0. Welcome to my country.
And by the way, we're still in Nigeria. We are not even at the border, nowhere near. How many have we had?
You do. We had about 34, 35.
How many bribes? 2.
2.
We finally made it. With a warm goodbye to Chucks, it was time to uncover what this country had to offer. My first stop in Benin, Ganvié, Africa's largest floating village. It's home to water people, known as Tufinus. My guide, and now good friend, Confidence met me.
All right.
I finally get to meet Confidence.
Yeah.
Finally.
You think the best?
We took off in a motor canoe, cruising through narrow waterways and lush green paths, passing locals in boats and tiny fishing villages along the way.
My name is Lawrence.
So Lawrence lives in this village with about 35,000 people, and you can only access it by boat.
Known as the Venice of Africa, this floating village is built entirely on stilts over Lake Nokwe. The Tofinu people built it in the 1700s to escape slave raiders, and somehow, generations later, life here is still going strong. So this place has its own restaurant, school, hotel, bar, hospital, grocery store. They're set. They don't need anything here. All floating on water. I sat inside the restaurant and watched as locals drifted by in canoes, children paddling to school, like the water was just part of everyday life. As we left the village, passing locals, hawkers, and ducking under bridges, it all felt surreal, like slipping out of another world. Floating mosque. This is one of those rare experiences which I'll never forget. I'm at a very interesting voodoo ceremony in Benin. Lawrence knew of a private voodoo ritual happening at the home of the village priest and offered us an invite. I jumped at the opportunity. We're doing the voodoo. Unlike the version of voodoo often seen in Haiti or the West, voodoo in Benin is a deeply rooted traditional religion. Zangbeto are sacred night watchers. They look like tall cone-shaped figures made of raffia and palm leaves, and are believed to be spirits that protect the community. They were making deep, strange noises as they moved, which people believe are the voices of spirits inside. I watched them move in random patterns, spinning, turning, and sometimes shaking. Many believe it's not a person inside the Zangbeto, but the spirit world itself guiding its movements. At one point, a cone started to climb the wall of the house and was forced down. One of the Zangbeto suddenly stopped moving, a sign the spirit had vanished. At the priest's request, a few men lifted the cone, and to my shock, there was no one inside. The spirits of the dead are called through rituals. Little did I know, I was about to participate in one to bring the spirit back. A live chicken is sacrificed, its blood drained, and feathers ripped out by hand. As a lifelong vegetarian, this was incredibly hard to watch, but I stayed, curious to understand a world so different from mine. The cone was set back in place. The priest shook the Zangbeto, murmured inside the cone, calling the spirit back. shook it again, and spat palm liquor inside, but still, no sign of the spirit. I was asked to step forward, more expected than invited, to participate in the ritual. I was handed a stick, told to call the spirit, strike the Zangbeto, and spin in a full circle. I did as instructed, no response. I tried again, still silence. A man standing nearby motioned firmly for me to strike harder. I did, and wow. In a flash, the spirit returned. I was speechless. This wasn't just a ritual. It was something ancient and sacred, deeply rooted in the soul of this village. A rare honor, to see a world few outsiders ever do. Most visitors see the Zangbeto in the village square, where the ceremony is public, festive, and alive. The air buzzes with energy, kids weaving through the crowd. Families gathered under trees. Then come the colorful, towering woven cones, escorted by men and placed randomly within the circle of people. Slowly, the cones spring to life, then spin fast and wild, with men running alongside to keep them from crashing into the crowd. It's a breathtaking sight, vivid, chaotic, and full of spirit. As the Zangbeto slow, the moment stays with you long after the music fades. Being vegetarian was tough here, but I found an Indian snack shop and the boys gave it a try too.
Like it.
So how is the vada pav?
Vada pav is nice. I like it. Nice. I like it too.
Our next stop was the Royal Palace of Abomey, a UNESCO World Heritage Site built by 12 kings from 1625 to 1900. It's currently a museum and holds over 1,000 artifacts, including King Gezo's throne, mounted on the skulls of his enemies. We walked through peaceful courtyards where young lovers meet, into ceremonial rooms and burial chambers, once used for human sacrifice. A haunting glimpse into Benin's history, well worth the visit. Another key stop is the sacred forest of Kapaze, on the outskirts of Ouidah.
This is Eric.
Yes, I'm Eric. Happy to be your guide in the sacred Passe forest in Ouidah.
Opened to the public in 1992, it's used by locals for voodoo rituals and is also a sanctuary, honoring the 16th century King Kapaze.
When he died, he became a tree in the forest. That's why it is today called a sacred forest.
So the king became the tree.
A tree.
What do these statues represent?
They stand for the king symbols, and the other ones stand for divinities or other things that are related to our custom and tradition. The person of the night, Zang means night, Beto means person. And this mask, because it's a mask, comes out at night to secure the village. That's his main function.
I was invited to an event. I witnessed, I don't know what. There were actually two of these,
Yes.
and they were speaking, and people were speaking inside the little netted area. They called me over. It almost seemed like the villagers were summoning a spirit, and the spirit came, and they started dancing around, and I did a ceremony, hitting it with a stick. Then they flipped this to the side,
I know what you
and there was nothing.
There's nothing. Sometimes they may even burn it, and they'll call it back. It will appear again. Then they'll open it. Sometimes you will see fish. You may see a snake. When they will cover it, you start dancing again.
How does it work?
When they come out in the daytime, it is to entertain people. And
But it's a spirit,
Yeah, it's spirit.
an actual spirit that comes out.
I know what you want to understand. Even if I say that it's a person that was a masker, they use a lot of power. So it's a show of power, of knowledge. You know,
I come from a country where we believe in reincarnation and spirits. You guys win the cake on this one.
okay, great.
You guys have outdone India with this one.
If you're not afraid of snakes, this python temple might still test your nerves. Inside, about 60 royal pythons are coiled and slither together, sacred and protected. They're not fed here. Instead, they're let loose into the city once a month to hunt. If one ends up in your home, it's considered a blessing. You feed it, then bring it back. We were offered to drape the snake around our necks for photos. I'm good. No reptile fashion for me today. A brief touch for a few photos was quite enough for me in confidence. There's also an area which is still used for animal sacrifices during voodoo rituals. Behind me is the point of no return, a narrow stretch of sand, where millions of African slaves were marched in chains toward waiting ships. They were traded to European and American buyers, exchanged for guns, rum, and cloth. Human lives reduced to cargo. This is how they were tied and kept on the ship until they reached their destination. This brutality went on for 400 years. It stands as a UNESCO site, but still hard to stomach. As our journey wound down, confidence gifted us with an unexpected parting song. Back in India, my family was celebrating Lord Ganesh. The boys volunteered to be part of the video I was sending home. Different faiths, same spirits.
Ganpati Bappa, Moria!
One of the many touching moments I'll carry from this journey.